On this episode, we have special guest Edward Cabello. Ed and I have known each other for a very long time, and Ed's an amazing man, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to sit with Ed and understand where he is in life and what tools he can give you to live an absolute limitless life and lift your game. So Ed, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Jacob. My pleasure.
Tell us a bit about you and who you are and what you do.
My journey began in Chile, South America, in a small town called Iquique. My journey has led me to become a police officer, manager, and now a wellness coach, specializing in stress management and peak performance.
Wow, that's a great journey, isn't it?
It is.
And what would you define success as, Ed?
Being authentic, being yourself, and being able to serve while you're authentic, and being of service to people.
Beautiful. I love that. Do you have a mentor or coach, Ed?
I have many mentors. I've been blessed in my life to have many amazing people to guide me, teach me, give me great advice. Very important to have a mentor.
And how often do you talk to your mentor and engage with them? How important is it with you?
Constantly, daily. It's very important that you get feedback to where you're at, where you're going. It's very important that you stay on track.
Yeah, it's well said. And in times of stress, what do you think about? How do you stay centered?
Well, I'm different, Jacob. As you know, we teach stress and we teach things about stretch. I believe that stress has a bad rap. I don't view stretch as being negative. I view stretch as being important. So I'm a friend of stress. I look at stress being a call to arms, a sign that I'm growing, a sign that I'm expressing myself further than I ever had before.
That's fantastic. Ed, do you visualize? Do you use visualizations?
Absolutely. I was quite fortunate early in my training career when I began to study the martial arts that I learned the very important tool of visualizing, creating that very compelling picture about who you are, and what you want to achieve.
Yes.
As you know.
Yeah. And Ed, what are some tools you use to keep motivated? You know, in today's world, you've got a lot on, there's a lot of things to achieve, and it's a busy world we live in with technology. How do you keep motivated?
Two things. You have to create a very compelling picture. You have to create a picture that empowers you. So first of all, if you're not being motivated, then I would say to you, look at your narrative. You must create a narrative that's compelling, that when you think about it, you feel energized. Whatever doubts you have, if you're lacking energy, that compelling narrative just makes you become limitless.
Yes.
Gives you energy. And second of all, and I think probably equally as important, you got to have the right, I call it entourage, but you might call it friends. You have to have people around you that are inspiring and motivating. You are who your friends are, as they say.
Well said. Very well said. And Ed, do you set goals? And if so, how often?
I have goals for every part of my life. I have a goal that encompasses all my life, and I have individual goals. Work goals, personal goals. And I set those goals regularly and I review them on a daily basis. Always keep them at the front of my mind.
Yes. And why do you do what you do, Ed? What's your why?
I'm very passionate about health. I've seen many people suffer from stress. Mm-hmm. I've had friends that died from stress, and wow. It's very sad when you see a person not be all they can be because of stress. On the other hand, to see a person be all they can be when they're energetic, they're happy and they're healthy, and they're living a life that's limitless, it's very empowering. As you know, it's energizing.
It really is, isn't it?
If they grow, I grow. If they're happy, I'm even more happier.
What a beautiful why.
It is.
Ed, really important question for the audience today. What do you feel separates a champion from an average performer?
Your mindset, how you view failure. It's a fact of life that you are going to fail. As a matter of fact, I believe that failure is a very important part of success. So I would ask you, do you have a fixed mindset or do you have a growth mindset? Ours is a growth mindset.
Yes.
Which means that there is no win or lose, there's only an experience. And you ask yourself, what did I learn? So if you learn something, there is no failure. There's only growth. So success to me is having the capacity to look at failure and say, what did I learn? And if I learned something, I haven't lost.
That's beautiful. And finally, what tips would you give the audience today to become limitless, to really work, live and play in that infinite space of possibility?
I would say to the audience, from the bottom of my heart, have a narrative that's compelling. Be outrageous, be crazy. The things you want in life have to be compelling. Have a crazy narrative. Don't worry about the how or the why. How are you going to get it? Just have it crazy. When you dream, dream big. And most importantly, you need to understand why you want to do it. It has to be personal, has to be authentic. Your why must compel you forward every day. Drag you out of bed, drag you down when you've been beaten or defeated. Has to keep you forward. Have those two elements together and you will become limitless.
That's great. Ed, thanks for coming on the show today. Absolute pleasure. Your wisdom is just gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.